You've been tricked. The dark figure, the supreme villain, the devil of Greek mythology, Hades. His name, a whisper of terror, synonymous with damnation and darkness for those who dare to utter it. From childhood, we have been conditioned to see him as the personification of evil, the reclusive tyrant who awaits the souls of the dead in his endless abyss. But what if the true story was much deeper, much more forbidden? What if the Lord of the Underworld was not the devouring darkness, but the relentless guardian of secrets essential to existence itself, to the cosmic balance that sustains all we know? Today, we will not settle for superficial narratives and historical prejudices. Today, we will delve into the depths of Olympus and Tartarus to unravel the true nature of Hades, the ruler of a realm many fear, but few truly understand. Prepare to question everything you've been taught about the god of the dead, of wealth, and of the deepest mysteries of existence. We are about to open portals to forbidden knowledge, to truths that have been obscured by time and interpretation. A journey through the underworld awaits, not as a destination of punishment, but as a path to hidden wisdom. It is necessary, therefore, that we abandon the simplistic views of a cruel despot or a soul-thirsty demon. The time has come to dismantle the distorted narrative that transformed one of the pillars of cosmic order into a mere harbinger of evil. Today, our expedition will lead us into the depths of Olympus and, more precisely, Tartarus, not to observe the surface, but to probe the essence of a realm and a god who have been deliberately misinterpreted throughout the centuries. This is an invitation to look beyond the veil of superficiality, to question every precept about Hades, the Lord of the Dead, of wealth, and of the most intrinsic secrets to the very fabric of existence. Our goal is to unveil the true nature of the ruler of a domain that many fear, but few, in fact, fully comprehend. Prepare to challenge old beliefs and to embrace a vision that redefines good and evil, light and shadow. We are here to reveal the complexity behind one of the most enigmatic Greek gods, whose actions and dominion are fundamental to the balance of the cosmos. We will delve into his origins, his lineage, and the crucial role he plays, demystifying the idea that his kingdom is merely a place of dread. For, under Hades' aegis, the underworld reveals itself as a place of imposing order, of just judgment, and of a wealth that transcends the material, touching the very core of life and death. It is this depth, this immutable order, that shapes the very figure of Hades, the ruler over this vast and mysterious realm. Far from being a sadistic tyrant, his personality is one of solemn imposition, a just and unwavering ruler in the execution of cosmic laws. Hades rarely acts out of malice. His decisions are guided by the need to maintain balance between the world of the living and that of the dead, ensuring that each soul finds its proper place, whether in the Elysian fields, the plains of Asphodel, or the depths of Tartarus for the most impious. He is the ultimate judge, whose verdict is final and without appeal, not out of cruelty, but out of an inflexible adherence to the structure that sustains existence. In addition to his role as guardian of souls, Hades is also known as Pluto, the dispenser of wealth. But this wealth transcends visible gold and jewels. He is the lord of all the hidden treasures and resources of the earth, the veins of precious minerals, the dormant seeds in the soil, the incalculable potential that lies beneath the surface. This fortune symbolizes unmanifested abundance, the primordial energy awaiting to be awakened. The absence of temples dedicated to Hades on the surface is not a sign of his unpopularity, but rather of the respect and awe he inspired. Mortals avoided pronouncing his name directly, preferring euphemisms, for invoking the Lord of the Underworld was an act of utmost seriousness, an acknowledgement of the inevitability of his dominion and the vastness of his power over the destiny of all that lives. However, this forced reverence, this ancestral fear, did not emanate from an intrinsic malice of the god, but from an understanding of the inevitability he personified. Hades was not the torturer, but the relentless guardian of the boundaries between life and death, a ruler who applied cosmic law with chilling and unwavering impartiality. He did not pursue the living, nor did he delight in the suffering of others. His concern was order, the correct flow of souls, and the maintenance of the balance that prevented chaos from spreading between the realms. His figure, often misunderstood, was that of a supreme judge, aware that death was not an end but a necessary transition, a stage in a larger cycle of existence. And it is precisely this function that associated him with another facet of his dominion, riches. Also known as Pluto, the rich, his kingdom was not only the home of the dead, but the inexhaustible treasure of the earth. Jewels, precious metals, seeds that sprout from the darkness of the soil, all of this was under his aegis. This wealth, however, was not limited to the material. It also symbolized hidden potentials, profound knowledge, and truths that lie buried, waiting to be discovered by those brave enough to explore the depths of being and the universe. It was a constant reminder that in the shadows resides not only the end, but the seed of new beginnings, the potential for the flourishing of all that is valuable, be it in substance or in wisdom. The duality of Hades as Lord of Death and Wealth reveals a tapestry of meanings that transcends superficial perception, pointing to a deep connection between darkness and abundance, end and potential, mystery and revelation. It is precisely at this intersection point that we venture into the forbidden mysteries of his realm. Hades' underworld is not merely a final destination, but a primordial mirror of the human psyche, a labyrinth where the most difficult truths of our existence manifest. It is the place where we confront, whether we want to or not, our deepest fears, hidden traumas, and the shadows we avoid recognizing in ourselves. Hades, in this context, emerges not as an executioner, but a ruthless catalyst, the guardian of knowledge that most flee in terror, but which is essential for true awakening. Death, in its deepest sense, is a central theme in Hades' domains. Not just the cessation of biological life, but the symbolic death of old identities, beliefs, and patterns so that a spiritual rebirth can occur. How often are we invited to die to what is familiar and safe, to finally live fully our unexplored potential? The ancients understood this intrinsic connection. In initiation rites, such as the enigmatic Eleusinian mysteries, devotees experienced a symbolic death and rebirth, seeking a deeper understanding of the cycles of life and the inevitability of death, promising bliss in the afterlife and a transcendental understanding of existence itself. Hades, the ruler of this threshold, is the architect of this profound transformation, the silent master of the soul who teaches us that darkness is not the end, but the portal to revelation. But this journey towards self-knowledge is not easy, for Hades' underworld is, above all, an implacable mirror of the human psyche. It is in this subterranean realm that we are confronted not only with the inevitability of physical death, but with the mortality of our fears, traumas, and the deepest shadows that inhabit our unconscious. Hades, the unwavering guardian of this threshold, acts as the silent catalyst for an inner transformation, revealing a knowledge that most avoid out of fear or ignorance. He forces us to look at the uncomfortable truths about ourselves and about the cyclical nature of existence. The intrinsic link between death, whether symbolic or literal, and spiritual rebirth is the core of the mysteries Hades supervises. We ask, what does it truly mean to die before living fully? This is the fundamental inquiry echoed in ancient initiation rites and the Eleusinian mysteries, where devotees sought a transcendental understanding of life, death, and the promise of a deeper existence. The underworld is not just the final destination, but the crucible where the soul is forged, shedding the superfluous to emerge purified and with renewed wisdom. It is here that the secrets of the soul are unveiled and the true essence of individualism is put to the test, offering a portal to an awakening that few would dare to seek. This awakening, however, is not an easy path, nor is it granted without trial. To cross this portal, the individual must first confront the deepest layers of their own shadow, buried fears, forgotten traumas, inconvenient truths that daily consciousness insists on suppressing. It is in this psychic mirror that Hades' realm reveals itself, not as a place of eternal punishment, but a training ground for the soul. The Lord of the Underworld is not the tormentor, but the catalyst for this inevitable and often painful transformation. He is the guardian of knowledge that most avoid, for it demands the deconstruction of the ego and the acceptance of impermanence. Here, death, in both its literal and symbolic sense, emerges as the gateway to spiritual rebirth. What does it truly mean to die before living fully? It means shedding the illusions, attachments, and false identities we've built throughout life, allowing the purest essence of being to manifest. It's an invitation to surrender what no longer serves us, to leave behind the old shell so that a new, authentic, and deeply connected life can sprout. This is the essence of archaic initiation rites and the Eleusinian mysteries, where the descent into the underworld and the return promised not only a deeper understanding of life and death, but a journey of transcendental that elevated the initiate to a new level of existence and consciousness. Hades, therefore, does not curse us with an end, but blesses us with the potential for a new beginning, a knowledge that, though forbidden to the superficial mind, is essential for true freedom of spirit. However, this profound understanding of Hades as an agent of transformation and a catalyst for a new beginning dramatically contrasts with the image that history, and in particular later narratives, have bequeathed to us. For many, Hades remains the personification of evil, the archetype of the adversary. But where exactly was this truth distorted? How was a god of order and destiny transformed into a